Good afternoon and welcome to TalkSports, our Saturday sports program. And with the good news, I should say, yes, that as you can see, coming to you live from Brooklyn, New York. It has been a while since, we have not had a program from this great city, New York, Yes, so it's glad to be back in Brooklyn, New York after many weeks. Yes, many weeks over in Texas. And hopefully, uh, we will have another program, but not next Thursday, unfortunately, because Thursday, as you know, is Thanksgiving here in the United States. It's a holiday, and as per usual, we try to observe holidays, whether it's in the Caribbean or here in the United States, yeah, where the program is really emanating from. Hopefully, next Saturday, though, we'll have another program here in Brooklyn, New York. And then the following week, we should be in South Carolina. Yeah. So thank you for joining me once again. And it's an open discussion, certainly. And we'll be discussing a couple of things. A little in the spotlight will be cricket, though. West Indies getting ready to play Sri Lanka in the Test series, and we'll hear from two individuals in particular, including the captain Craig Brathwaite, um, you know, and Jeremy Solazzo. We'll also be hearing from Jeremy Solazano, um, his preparation as well. We'll hear from Jeremy first, and then also from Craig Brathwaite, and then we'll see if we can have some open discussion on some issues that are affecting you, our viewers, and some comments as well. We'll try to read some of the comments, whatever sporting activities, local meaning, whether it's in your domain, as well as internationally, certainly. And always a pleasure to welcome my good friend, Rudian Silvan. Thank you very much, Rudian. Always locked in, whether it's a Thursday evening or a Saturday afternoon. Okay. For those in the Eastern Caribbean, the program is coming out an hour later because daylight saving time. So we actually use the Eastern time. Okay. And if you have any comments, you don't want to be on, please feel free to share it, post it, and I will share it as well. Hey, and don't be too long, yeah, don't be too long. Um, I'll certainly read it. Yeah, as you know, today is a special day. Having a special program on my special day. Okay, it's also a special day for the President of the United States of America, the current president, Mr. Joseph Biden, Joe Biden. It's also his birthday today. Great men, great men, great men. I'm so privileged to be joining the ranks. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. So as I indicated, we'll be oh, right. Thank you very much, Margaret. Um, thank you very much for your greetings. Yeah. Oh, and I want to say, well, it's probably morning now to my good friend Greg Varicas in Australia. Thank you very much, Greg, for the greetings. I think it's Sunday, very late in Sunday already in Australia. Thank you very much, Greg, for the shout out. Yeah. Yeah. So as I indicated, I will be trying to get some of the I'll try to get Jeremy first and hear what he has to say, and then we'll also be getting some of the comments from you folks. I'd like to hear what you have on your mind regarding sports, any issue. We'll try to get that as well. Okay, so don't feel left out. All right. Yes. Thank you very much, Rudian. I appreciate it. Certainly, yeah. It's nice to be growing younger. Yeah. All right. So I'll get Jeremy Solazano first, and then after that, I will get some comments and from you folks, whatever comments you want to add, I'll post it up, and then we'll have some further discussions. Okay? Yeah. Righto. So we'll hear from Jeremy.
Good day, all, and welcome to today's penultimate press conference in anticipation of the Test series, Sri Lanka versus West Indies, which begins here in Galle in 2 days' time on the 21st, Sunday the 21st. Today, as promised, we have opening batsman Jeremy Solazano available to speak with you, the media. Jeremy is in his first West Indies squad, touring overseas, and he is obviously excited to speak with you in what will be his first ever press conference. I am seeing quite a few hands raised, so without much further ado, I'm going to ask Jeremy to go ahead and unmute his microphone, and we could begin the engagement. Good day, Jeremy. Welcome to your first press conference. We'll begin today's engagement with questions from Brandon Corlett. Brandon, please proceed.
Hey there, Jeremy. What's been the mood like in the dressing room for you? You know, your first outing with the West Indies team.
Well, since coming here, the mood has been very good. I've been welcomed by all my teammates. It's like a family here. No complaint. You feel really comfortable, happy.
Yeah, and you're an opener. So, how confident are you to make your debut here in Sri Lanka?
Well, I'm very confident. Well, once given the opportunity, well, I will do my best for the West Indies and for my team, and contribute to the best that I could.
And finally, Dario, if I can, I don't know, a lot of social media noise, a lot of people highlighting your first class average and all these things. How do you deal with the social media noise, and what's your response to that?
Well, to be honest, I'm not really dwelling on my stats too much in first class cricket. This is a new chapter, a new career, in a new stage in my career. So, yeah, I think I'm looking forward to having a great career in Test cricket. And once given the chance, I will like to prove the selectors right by giving them good performances.
All right, all the best, man.
Thanks.
Ryan Basho.
Thanks, Dario. How are you doing, Jeremy?
Good day, I'm good.
All right, good. Listen, two quick questions. You've been down at the National Cricket Center in Trinidad all year, like literally all year with Coach Furlong. I just wonder, how much has that consistent work helped you throughout this year with no regional cricket? To be able to go to Antigua, score some runs, get selected on the West Indies team, possibly a Test debut for you in the next week. How much did that consistent work throughout the year, behind the scenes, behind the cameras, help you?
I think it helped me a lot. Working back home, I never really stopped training. Been training hard, doing a lot of batting, gym, everything, trying to get my body as fit as possible. And well, once getting the call was to go to Antigua, it's not that you wasn't prepared, that you had to play catch up. I was prepared, I was ready, and we're just looking forward to just making use of the opportunity.
And if I could just quickly ask, your dad has been your biggest fan down the years, never missed a game when you played, wherever you played. This is an enormous occasion for him as well, in Sri Lanka, what has he been telling you? What's his, have you been in contact with him? What would you say to him now?
Yeah, definitely been in contact with him. He's just happy for me. He loved me a lot. My parents, my family, everyone loved me a lot. So they're just wishing me well. To just go out there and enjoy the game and enjoy every training sessions, everything, and they're just wishing me well.
Thanks, Jeremy, and good luck.
No problem.
Move on to questions from Ian Wason, and then Lennox Aldred will follow.
Right. Both Ryan and Brandon covered my questions. So all I'll say to Jeremy is congratulations and all the best.
Thank you very much.
Greetings, Jeremy.
Hi, good day.
Yeah, man. I have a question for you. You are the third opener now for the West Indies, after John and Kyron. Do you believe that you are under any pressure to perform and cement this position, seeing that those two were tried but they didn't really, make it? Are you under any pressure to get some scores to really cement this opening spot?
To be honest, not really under pressure. Think well with the environment that I'm in with the team is nothing more no pressure. So it's just to go there and enjoy. And I believe once you enjoy your game and enjoy training, everything will just fall into place.
Right. So what would be a good series for you?
Once given the opportunity, a good series for me, just try to contribute to the team as much as possible, which is doing whatever the team required at the given situation.
All right. Thanks, man.
No problem.
Jelani Beckles, and that is the final indication I'm seeing of questions. If you have questions, please feel free to raise your hand in the Zoom group chat. We are willing to take them. However, we'll now proceed with Jelani.
Hi, morning. Thank you, Dario. Hi, Jeremy. You have experience with playing at the under 19 international level for the West Indies. How do you think that will help you in your progress, your step into the senior team as a former West Indies under 19 player?
Yeah. I think that will help a lot because most under 19 players just about making the transition from under 19 to senior team. So I think it will help me a lot.
Okay, and final question for me. Craig Braffett has been an opening batsman for the West Indies for about a decade now. Have you gotten any advice from him over the last couple of weeks you have spent with him?
Yes, definitely. I've been with Craig since in the camp in Antigua. He and I always together, always talking, trying to feed off him as much as I could, gain from his experiences. And he's been sharing a lot of knowledge, and we've been keeping close from since Antigua to now. So it's just to keep that bond and to keep learning and growing as my career. Well, once given the opportunity to play as my career begins.
Okay, thanks a lot, man.
No problem.
All right, I'm seeing a raised hand from Zahir Clark. Zahir, please proceed.
Hi, good day. I think my question might have been answered, but I asked it nonetheless. We usually take it easy, so I don't know why Dario said earlier that we should specifically take it easy on you. But the question is, I was going to ask something similar based on the last question. Who in the team outside of Craig Brathwaite have you relied on in terms of advice and stuff outside of him? Is there anybody else that has been like a close mate to you or somebody that you have spoken to a lot outside of him since you mentioned him earlier?
Yes, I've been a lot with Jason as well, Jason Holder. He's been sharing his experiences with me as well, giving me advice always. When we in the nets, he always challenging me. And been good. Jason, Jermaine, Roston, all the senior guys, everybody just make you feel so welcome, and it's a part, make you feel welcome and to know that you're actually here.
All the best, man. Hopefully a successful career.
Thank you very much.
Jeremy, I have a question here from Mr. Gavin Richards, who is usually a part of these press conferences, but was unable to make it. Gavin wants to know, who are some of the people that you can identify as having played a major role in getting to where you are today?
Well, to be honest, if I call names, that would be like a lot. So everybody who helped me, or my coaches, Everybody from youth level come straight up, all my coaches, everyone. Just want to say thank you very much. And all those who supported me and believe in me, thank you as well for your support and your love. I really appreciate it.
And one final question here in the chat from Joel Bailey. He's asking if you've spoken to your relative Brenda Salazano Rodney about international cricket.
Definitely. That was basically as my name was, the team was released. That was it. They could say about one of the first person to call me. So yeah, that definitely spoken to her.
Thank you, Jeremy. I just want to say thanks for taking time out and being so brave to be being a part of your first official West Indies press conference. I want to say thanks to all the members of the media that took their time out today to join. And obviously, we're looking forward to the start of the Test series on Sunday, the 21st, and we're looking forward to the West Indies faring very well in that series as well. Thanks, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you.
Okay, folks. Yeah, so that was Jeremy Solazano, West Indies opening batsman. As you know, the first test against Sri Lanka starts tomorrow, Sunday. And Jeremy, no doubt, giving his bits on that. So we want to thank you, Jeremy, for that. And also for Cricket West Indies Media for that. Let me go on now to our good friend Lincoln Tour Deputy saying these young chaps mean well. It's just as the competition competitors rather are better prepared than they and outplay them 9.5 out of 10 times. I feel sorry for them. But Tora, don't you think given in terms of the youngsters, let's just look at the youngsters because I don't want to judge too much on the recent World Cup because there was so much a mixture of the young and they call them the experience, you know. But have you seen, don't you think you have seen some brilliance? I know you say 9.5 out of 10, okay? But don't you think you have been seeing some brilliance, some encouragement, you know, in recent times in terms of the young players, you know, what you think about that, you know? Yeah, I just want to know what you think about it. I have a different perspective in terms of that, but personally, I do think, you know, some of them are, you know, showing signs of improvement, maturity, you know, ready for the big stage. I'd say some, you know, but in, you know, generally, the general feeling is that we still have some way to go. And if we, and in some instances, playing catch up, you know, I know Cricket West Indies, you know, they have been putting lots of resources and money into preparation of teams and things. But you know, if I can just grab some comments from our good friend Ray Roberts, you know, and I think it has merit, you know, in that, you know, we still need to play more cricket and a longer version as well at the local level. So, you know, probably outside of Barbados and Guyana to an extent, cricket is to some hardly played, you know. There needs to be more cricket. The local leagues have to be stronger. You know, I wish it was a situation where just as we have the football league and, you know, running for quite a while with, you know, GFA has its own problem, but, you know, when the league is running, you know, and the different competitions as well, you know, whether it's the Premier League, the first division, second division, however they wanted to call them, conference, you know, football is being played, you know, for a period of time. We don't necessarily have that for cricket. And I think that is what, you know, the point Ray Roberts has been making in terms of we do not play enough cricket is not being played in the Caribbean, except for Barbados with a proper structured in terms of cricket. Cricket is played over a period of time, and I think Guyana also have well structured. Not a lot is being played, but I don't know what you have to say. Hi, Bunny Logan, a good friend from Ivor Road. Thank you very much. I appreciate Bunny. Thanks very much. Yeah. Yes. So let me hear what my good friend Rudy Sylvan is saying, and then I will also get to Craig Braffett. Rudy is, as you know, is in Toronto, Canada. Yeah, and he is a loyal. Well, he should be royal now, but he's a loyal fan of this program, and I want to hear what he has to say, because we're talking about cricket, but I think it boils down to sports in general. And Rudy is in Toronto. I know Toro, who is also a loyal fan, is also in Toronto, and they know what sports is to the psyche of Canadians, for example, and they can say that probably for hockey, when hockey is played, which is a major, probably the top sport, one of the top sports in Canada, ice hockey to be exact. As they will say, the world stops for Canadians, especially if it's into probably a World Series, these sort of things. And if cricket is that to the Caribbean, then why? The question is why. So let me hear, Rudy. Good afternoon to you.
How you doing, man?
Yes.
Let me extend again to you a happy birthday.
Yeah, thanks very much.
You're in the rank of great men, so
yeah.
Joe Biden and those, so that's a good thing, So
yeah.
I'm in the rank of good women. I'm with Michelle Obama, so.
Oh, really? That's good. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Man.
But to extend, two things. I do have a topic I want to get on, but later on in the show.
No, but just remember it, okay?
Yeah, I remember it. I have it written down.
Yeah.
Just talking about even going back to Canada. I think soccer kind of top in terms of the numbers over hockey right now.
You mean in Canada?
In Canada right now, hockey in terms of what it means to Canada, but in terms of numbers wise, soccer top over hockey in terms of the number of athletes you're going to have performing in soccer compared to. So that's why we top it a little bit. But in terms of if you have to speak of the sport, I was going to say hockey is the number one in because it's a Canadian sports, sort of. But in terms of the numbers of people is soccer, because you have from the small grassroots with soccer go all the way up, and especially how they do it now, it's good, yeah.
And you're talking about both the genders, right? Both
genders, and as well as because you do the indoor and outdoor. Because now the cold season, you have a lot of indoor soccer going on right now. And then because the hockey, not much hockey play in the summertime. Okay. So it tends to find that soccer, expand over the number wise. But going back to the Caribbean, what you said about cricket, I remember growing up. In my time, your time is different, but in my time, it was season. For us, the way I see it in my generation, someone can correct me, but it was season. It's cricket season, everywhere you play cricket. Football season, everybody playing football. Sports like track and field, everybody playing track and field. Basketball season, everybody's on the basketball court. So it was season. You don't see that anymore, and it's really lacking, especially for cricket. It was really nice to see how they had the Caribbean, how they had the parish league. That was really good to see. But how about within the parishes? Within every parish you have little cricket leagues going on, but cricket don't play as much, which is really lacking compared to the old days. And it's hurting the sport big time. It's really hurting because I know the equipment is expensive, but not even the equipment. Even going to just regular tennis ball cricket. It's a lot of.
But let me ask you that. But don't you think? And that's just a question. I mean, doesn't mean that is my thinking. That with television and basketball in particular on television, and through the era of the Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen era, right? That would have that made a lot of inroads into the psyche of the Caribbean, right? I mean, look at track and field, for example. Yes, and the Usain Bolt factor. To an extent, let's say Jamaica, okay? But basketball is still the sport where you will find guys playing hoop, especially in the Caribbean, on the street, or when there is a court available, whatever it is, that you will see guys, from 20, 25, guys on the court for the entire day, these sort of things like that. So why not cricket?
Because I think what it is too is you dealing with a generation of athletes. And again, I'm not in Grenada. But still, basketball was still played more. I played basketball. I remember you had the topic, was it last week, or you had a topic speaking to those good gentlemen who passed away, and paying tribute to them. I played basketball when I was at Magna College at the hard court at the Market Square in Grenville. I remember playing, and I remember a lot of us, played there. But then is who was playing in the world then. And then we didn't have a lot of the television like we have today.
Right.
And you have access now in the Caribbean or in Grenada, like you have access out here. They can watch every single game. So and looking at the game than actually playing the game now.
Yeah, well, in terms of access, in terms of accessibility, because you don't need. Some of them don't even need a television now because you're on your phone, your mobile phone. They have apps that they can look at.
But if you go back with us, you ask me about cricket players in the old days. Even though I used to wake up with my grandfather and listen at 3 o'clock in the morning when they out in the play, I could have tell you a player's name. I can't tell you a player's name today. See the difference in a one player or two. Back then you could have tell all the 11-man squad. A lot of people is just not. It's not the name. It's not all there today. Just like even the basketball, it might be great today with the Steph Curry, LeBron James. It's not like Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant. It's not like those days.
Right, but what I'm saying, you got up and look and listen, not look, listen to cricket, because in those days you're listening to cricket, right?
Yes.
Because your grandfather listening to the cricket, right? Most of our parents and grandparents or whoever it is that we were living with at the time, they were ardent cricket fans.
Most definitely.
We are listening to the cricket in those days, radio, cricket is on the radio. So that was access in terms of that. And because our parents and grandparents and, the extended members of the family, whether it's uncle, whoever it is, listening, we're listening. Now, I don't think we have that where even folks at home, listening to cricket or even watching cricket because it's now available on television, watching it. So, not something that is really passing on to another generation, right? You can say you may still want to do it or you may feel to do it because it's something that was inculcated in you, was part of the culture growing up.
Yeah.
That is not the case now.
But it's not. But I listened to, about 2 or 3 years ago, someone made a comment in terms of going back to the days of playing marble and trying to bring that back into the community. No, that was our days. We go there, my times I go there playing soccer with no shoes on, and I'm good. I come home in the evening, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, I'm home, and the bottom of my feet is hurting me. I got prickle, I got this, but when I'm playing, I don't feel those things. When I'm home and I'm rested, you gotta get soft candle now and do in the old days of really. So our generation used to love the sport, like we still do, like we have the passion for it now, regardless of what sport. That generation today is not there. But how do we do it? We have to go to, not necessarily say we got to go to the level, but we kind of have to not necessarily have to accept how it is today, but implement it in what we're coming out from. We cannot just go back to where we're coming from because we're not going to get there. But we got to implement the today's sporting into where we come from, because it's in terms of it plays differently today, but the attitude of what we had towards it Because we had the attitude of going out there and playing. We don't lose. We out there playing. You know, I remember Magan College ground, we had a young local team. We are the youngest. 15, right. The oldest person was maybe 17, playing against those big men in local football. You know, we might get 7 goals, 8 goals, but we there. We don't give up. You know, and we had the support, and that will really get us. The community support us, because from there that we expand to go play for the Eagles under youth team, or the North Stars the youth team. So we are there, you know. But now you don't really get that, you know. And so I think what our generation have to do, or even the Ministry of Sports, implement today's lifestyle, but into the attitude of what we come out from, and put them together to get sports better in the Caribbean, because we are losing our athletes. We really are losing our athletes to television, because what we have today is, and even when you watch those guys play today, is they're playing television soccer. You know, they watch it now, and they want to go do it 2 minutes later.
Well, I know
television basketball, you know, so.
That is something that Toro is always talking about. You know, those guys, seeing those guys doing things on
I want to go and do
television, but not only that, not realizing that these guys training as much as, you know, they're seeing them. They're
seeing them. But even like now, if you look at the NBA, when you come into the NBA, you got to learn to shoot 3 points, all because of one player, Stephen Curry. You know, because of him now, every team now want, if you're a big man now, you got to shoot a 3.
Right.
The game is not like it used to be. You know, I'm watching the game now, and everybody want to shoot 3s, and guys, come on! It's like I just want to turn my television off.
Right.
Not like I said, like it used to be. You know, everybody know how to shoot a 3. He's not selling the ball, and you know, you a little touch and you fall, and you're making noise and all this thing, and they don't want to play. Michael Jordan played sick. You know, he played sick. He played with ankles taping up. Put me back in the game. Those guys, and you go back to football. Those guys didn't want to, the Emmett Smith and those Deion Sanders in the days. Take me up, get me back in the game. No, they're soft, right? The one little touch, because what I think it's to the money too. I mean, if the money today was in the 80s, them guys not going to retire.
We always have this thing, you know, the money is one of the issues, right? Let me you know, Toro says every year we have been seeing flashes from a bowler or batsman here and there, but a flash has to transform into a steady and consistent bright light. Then you have to coalesce whatever individual talent you have into a fearsome, united winning unit. That's what champion teams haven't had, whether it's Lloyd's or Richards, West Indies, Magic's, LA Lakers, Brazil in its heyday, or Hurricane SC, or as he will put it, you know, his Carnage United FC. Toro must put in his Carnage, you know.
Of course he has to.
But let me we have more things to talk about. I want to get in Craig Brathwaite, the captain of the West Indies Test team, right?
Go ahead.
I want to get him in to hear what he has to say, and then we'll come back and discuss a little more.
All right, good day to all the journalists that have taken time out to join today's press conference, and good day to you, Craig. And thank you for making yourself available to join us here today in what is the pre-match press conference for the first test against Sri Lanka. The only indication of question that I'm seeing so far is from Wayne Cunningham, who has his hand raised. So we're going to proceed with Wayne's question. I'm going to encourage any journalist that does have questions prepared to please show their hands. And once you do so, we will acknowledge in a chronological order. Again, Craig, thank you for being here.
Morning, Craig. Morning, my colleague. We spoke to a lot of your colleagues over the past week with regards to the upcoming test and so forth, and all of them indicated the camaraderie in the camp, you know, the greetings for the new debutants and so forth. But as captain, I want to hear from you, you know, about that camaraderie, one, and about, you know, the reception for Salzano and the other possible debutant?
Yeah, the camaraderie has been superb. Even from today at practice, the guys warming up, playing a warm-up game, and you see all the emotions involved. The guys really enjoying one another's company. We have some few dinners, the last couple of days, at the hotel. So I mean, it's been superb. The guys really talking to each other, about the game and stuff. So I think it's the spirit is nice, and Jeremy's fitting nicely. Obviously, he's a quiet guy, but he's fitting nicely, and he had a lot of chats, with a number of guys, and he's ready and ready to go.
As a follow-up now, more to the construction of the team. We don't want to know the team. We're gonna know that sometime later or tomorrow. But it's a lot of batting talent at the top. In the top 5. Have you already made the decision who gonna be like the top 2 and the one down batter and so forth already?
Well, obviously the opener, is Solozano. Obviously the chairman made that quite clear, that he will be the option as the opener. In terms of the order, obviously we would finalize that tomorrow, but pretty much clear as a team, where we want to go on combinations. We pretty much have that covered already.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you. We move on to Jelani Beckles. Jelani, please proceed.
Hi, thank you, Dario. Hi, Craig. What do you think will be the key to a series victory in this series, Craig?
I mean, it's always important, you have to get 20 wickets to win a game. And our bowling unit really has been leading this team, for the last couple of months. I think it's key to have a good start. I think in the top order, I think it'd be crucial, getting those big partnerships early. And obviously, I mean, runs on the board is key, especially in subcontinent. So I think a good first innings total is the key for us as a team, to obviously put pressure on the opponents.
Okay, and one more question for me. How important a role will be the spinners in this series? I know in Sri Lanka and in Asia, the spinners normally have a lot of success. How important Raheem, Cornwall, and Warrican's role will be in this team?
Yeah, obviously, pitch looks, being friendly, obviously, quite dry. Not saying the Pacers won't get wickets. We as a group, I mean, and the spinners know their role. The guys looking forward to the challenge. We can't premeditate, that the pitch will spin and everything, but it's quite dry. And I just think as a bowling unit is important, we don't think too far ahead and think spin and think wickets. I think the key for us, what we discuss, is that once we build the pressure, with dot balls, simple as that. Dot balls will bring the wickets. So, the spinners excited for the challenge. We know it won't be easy. Obviously, Sri Lanka, they're at home, and obviously their batsmen, play Spain well. So it'll be a challenge, but the guys were really looking forward to it, and the guys looking forward to lead. If it is, the pitch is spinning, the spinners really looking forward to, leading the attack.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Michelle McDonald, please proceed with your question.
Thank you, Dario, and good morning from Grenada, and good evening to you, Craig. What specifically have you worked on, both as captain and as opening batsman, between the last test series and heading into this one?
I mean, technically, there's always work to be done. I think a lot of, reassessing, both as a skipper and as a batsman, maintain. And I think it just my mental part, I already made sure I, work hard on that. And that just simply from reviewing and seeing where it could improve and improve. I mean, technically, there's always work to be done. So I think I'm in a better place. Now after every series, you always learn. You always learn stuff. So after reviewing, what I would have done on different decisions that I did, I really think I could have improved on. That was pretty much, what I did. As opening batsman for me is always, my balance. I think balance is really key for my batting. And once I get my balance in order, facing spin and pace, that really helps, with obviously doing well in the middle.
And captaincy?
Yeah, I know intro that part first.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks, Michelle. And I'm seeing no further indications of questions in the chat. Actually, it seems as though Wayne has another Wayne. Please proceed. Guys, if you have questions, please don't be afraid to raise your hands in the chat.
Thank you very much.
So that we can have a proper idea of how long the engagement will be and how soon we'll end. I'm seeing one from Colin Benjamin. So after Wayne, Colin, we're going to take yours.
Thank you very much again, Dario, craving that indulgence. I know I take up my time already, but it's always playing on my mind with regards to going into this series versus Sri Lanka. How much pressure, added pressure it is, knowing that it's a vital part of the World Test Championship.
Every test game is always obviously pressures around it. Every game, and we're not really thinking that far ahead. The guys really focusing on day by day, hour by hour. And that's the keys for us. I think once we take care of that as a team, once we focus on what we want to do as a team in those periods, the end result will take care of itself. So we're not focusing on the end result. I think once we take care of our specific disciplines hour by hour, then the result will take care of itself.
Nice. Thank you very much and best of luck.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yes, Skip. Two quick questions from me. Given the challenge West Indies had facing the South African fast bowlers and Pakistan in the last two test series, for you personally as an opener in the batting group, do you think facing Rabada, Norchi, Afridi in the last two test series gives the batting group good confidence facing up against the pacers Sri Lanka will bring now that they've brought back Kumara into the team?
Well, every team already has quality fast bowlers. Obviously, the guys, play South Africa, play Pakistan, quality bowlers. Sri Lanka have quality pacers as well. So the guys learned a lot, from the different challenges. Obviously have some time home, to work on different stuff. And they're looking forward to the challenge. It won't be easy. We can't just think it would just be spinning any day. Pacers still would play an important role. And the guys looking forward to the challenge of the quality Sri Lankan bowlers.
And lastly, similar to the test series in the Caribbean, the white ball team has had to face Hasaranga a lot, but the test team, he's not in this test squad again. So I guess for the preparation for this test series, knowing that you'll be facing a Sri Lankan team with no wrist spinners, has that made it a little easier in the preparation, tactics plan and stuff?
I won't say that. The guys been preparing to face anything, whether it's wrist, whatever it may be. So, the guys ready to go.
Cool, Skip, thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you, Colin. And that brings us to the end of today's engagement. Craig, I just want to say again, thank you for being here. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule, and good luck in the upcoming series.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thanks.
Enjoy the rest of the evening, everyone.
Okay, let me right. Thank you very much, Craig. Thank you very much also to Cricket West Indies for that for the video. Dario Batley and company, always thank you for providing the media with the necessary information. Let me bring back my tag partner, um, Rudy, yes. Well, that's the captain. In fact, speaking about the fortunes of West Indies,
Yeah,
because
he,
they
he, he sounds very comfortable. I heard him speak before. I like the way the
yeah,
confidence he has.
right.
Yeah,
And
I like the
the,
confidence. Yeah.
and one of the things I've realized with these guys, and the younger set of guys in particular, I sense the level of maturity. Yes, I know we're no longer the world beaters, right? But there's this level of maturity that I admire from these youngsters, um, but you know, ah, boy, there's a long one. This is a long one. Robertson, yeah, it can't stay on my screen, but for years since 1995, we have been mourning with a gnashing of teeth as to the way forward for West Indies cricket. Our sporting mindset has changed over the years because how many of the region's successful sportsmen and women have returned to their former stomping grounds and work with those at the grassroots level? Or how many grounds in the region can we go on any given afternoon, see those greats and upcoming ones having sessions with the young ones? In times gone by, one will have to go, and he continued. But it's an important point he's making there, right? If I can just read from it, it's a bit lengthy, but definitely 2 points I pulled from that, in that, successful sportsmen and women, and not just cricket, how many of them have basically returned to the grassroots levels as he's referring to? That's one. And then how many you will see back at the greats, for example, having sessions in terms of cricket, having sessions with the young ones, the batting greats, the bowling greats, having sessions with the young one, demonstrating techniques. But Robertson, I have heard from folks who have basically volunteer their time, and sometimes they complain about the attitude of the young ones. He thinks he knows a lot and who he think he's speaking to, and for some they prefer look at the TV coach than probably get the hands-on from a great. But listen, it may be so in some places, it may be different in others. There may be situations where there are greats who are willing to, provide the assistance, the know-how, the knowledge, pass on information, techniques, whatever it is. And, there are those who are not willing to accept it. And then there are other situations where the conditions is not just right, and sometimes the associations, the federations, whoever, they have to get involved. They have to ensure that, because I know, for example, there were years gone by where the West Indies Cricket Board didn't want to have anything to do with some of these greats. They were not an involved, but it's only of recent we find, the Courtney Walsh and the Ambrose and the Richards and others getting into the fold. They had just had these guys away from cricket for a while, okay? And I think we may have lost a good generation of good cricketers.
No, you're right, because and I was very ignorant towards that. I used to say why these guys them never continue. But recently I'm learning, like I say, I'm ignorant. I'm calling it what it is. But recently I'm finding out that it wasn't them. It was West Indies board that didn't want them.
Yeah, the system
didn't want them. Because I used to say for years, I say one of the main things, but now they're coming back in now because you need them now, but you should get them in the prime when it's really there for them. When cricket was what it is now, coaching, just with any coaching now, you have to be mindful how you coach. You have to be mindful of what you do, mindful of what you say. And that's make it very difficult in coaching, especially if coaching females.
Yeah.
You have to be very mindful of a lot of things that we say compared to how somebody will talk to us prior to.
Yeah, because
our coaches will talk to us.
And yeah, the point, because so So Gary Sobers is probably in his, well, not probably, he's in his 80s, right? And you were talking about, I am certain, no, not I'm certain, there is no way so Gary was playing cricket in the 60s, okay? When
Yeah.
he was in his 60s,
Yeah.
right? He had retired from cricket a long time now. What has happened between that time? As someone said, the folks like Sir Gary Sobers and others, and I believe it was Sib Robertson Henry. Robertson, correct me if I'm wrong. Robertson was on my program some time ago, and he was suggesting that the folks like Sir Gary Sobers and others, they should have used those guys going around the region, you know, holding clinics. You know, so Gary Sobers, the batting maestro, you know, even Brian Lara, you know, and others. But, you know, you have a group of those guys who can move from island to island, territory to territory, having clinics, having sessions with these guys. I mean, with the young cricketers, at least each of those territories. Yes, right, Robinson, yes. That is what I remember Robinson was suggesting, that they can have these clinics and showing them the, you know, and I'm talking about, you know, when those guys were basically in their prime, you know, some of them maybe might have been disheartened how they have treated them over the years and whether or not they're really willing, you know, to be part of the process. You know, some are coming back into the fore, you know, as we saw, Courtney Walsh is the coach of the women's team. We have Ambrose as a bowling consultant, you know, and things like that. So let me see. Robbie is saying the mere presence will encourage. Yeah, well, yeah, will encourage young ones to come out. That's true. You know, yeah, motivate them. Toro is saying I was reviewing a West Indies England match and a batting partnership involving Eldin Batiste and Michael Holden. Holden, who made 69, could teach the current West Indies top order batsmen a thing or two about batting. And I mean, you're talking about two bowlers, Eldin Batiste and Michael Holden.
Yeah.
Bowlers and most likely tail enders in terms of the batting, right? And here he's saying that, you know, how, you know, still, yeah. You know,
but even going back with us home, I don't think we even use Junior Murray as much.
Well, that was the point I was saying.
Even at his short time,
yeah,
and he could have done it. We never use him as much.
I had that in mind in terms of the Junior Murray thing came to mind while I was raising that. And in the context also of not just Junior Murray as a wicketkeeper, but also as
a batsman.
Well, not even a batsman. His fitness. Listen,
his fitness,
there's a saying that Junior Murray, and I probably can say it loud and repeat it. Junior Murray is one of the most, and is probably currently fitter than any of the current West Indies player.
How?
That, listen, if Junior Murray goes to Sydney, Australia, just using an example, now, right? Before Junior leaves, listen to what I'm telling you. Before Junior Murray leaves for Sydney, Australia, he will find out where is the nearest gym or fitness, whatever it is, close to where he will be staying.
Close to where he is.
So Junior Murray comes to Brooklyn, New York. He knows where he's going the next day. That is Junior Murray. I'm telling you what I know.
Yeah.
That is Junior Murray. He will find out. Well, he knows now because he comes to New York
many times. Yeah.
But if whatever place he's traveling to, probably for the first time or whatever, he will find out where is the nearest fitness center, gym, whatever it is, because he has to. That's Junior.
Yeah.
He is a guy that is. I mean, I can tell you one other thing too is that I heard complaints from young cricketers. I'm telling you, I heard complaints from young cricketers about Junior Murray's. Well, they didn't say it so, but when I investigated, it was Junior Murray's discipline regarding fitness. His discipline regarding fitness. If you're in a session with Junior Murray, fitness is number one.
Number one. Yeah.
Fitness is he's a fitness guru.
Fitness guru. Yeah.
Yeah, he is a fitness guru, you know. And it's something we see to some extent that is lacking in West Indies cricket. Could you imagine? And during Junior Murray's tenure in West Indies cricket, Junior Murray's only injury, for what I know of and what I've heard of, is a finger injury. Nothing to do with the fitness and muscles, whatever it is. It was a finger injury, and a finger injury which I understood got him into problems because he never told them about it. Because Junior Murray takes fitness very seriously, you know. And and so I'm saying that to bring back your point, somebody again that they can use, not just as a wicket keeper, you know, because during his time he was one of the best, you know. And there were others who would have said, oh well, you know, there was you know, what's the other, Ridley Jacobs from Antigua, they played, you know, the musical chairs with those guys, blah 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 and thing. But when it comes to fitness, Junior Murray is your guy, you know, and it's one that I believe that they should use. Mind you, in terms of the Grenada Cricket Association, Junior Murray is a coach, yeah? There are a lot of people don't know that Junior Murray is a coach, and Junior Murray is moving up the ranks in terms of his certification. Okay, in terms of his certification, he's not this big talker or anything like that. So, but he's who is doing it. So he is the coach of the, I think it's the under 15, under 17, one of those national teams, right? And I'm telling you, when it comes to fitness, you know, is a disciplined part of it with Junior Murray. They were complaining about Junior's regiment in terms of the fitness, you know, but that's Junior Murray, you know, and I think is not overreaching, but just that he is serious when it comes
to fitness.
To fitness. Let me go to what Torres is saying. I agree on that point of Junior's fitness. I've seen Junior on a day when he's not engaged in exercise and fitness training, you know. And I'm telling you that, you know, if Junior comes to New York and I reach out to Junior and blah blah blah, Junior will say, all right, after I do some workout, you know, after I do some workout. We had Junior Murray a couple of years ago here, the GBSS alumni, and we had to make arrangements to get Junior to do his fitness before before the program. We had that because he has his own program as well in terms of his fitness, you know. Robinson is saying, Michael, I fully support you on the Junior Murray comment. In addition to Murray, Fidel Edwards at 39 and Tino Best can still maintain a sustained level of pace compared to some of our current fast bowlers. Talking about Tino Best, he's another one who does a lot of workouts, even though he is not you know, the cricketer, you know. In fact, I saw some videos of him, you know, doing workouts and doing some bowling at the net with some young cricketers. Again, I assume that is the Barbados, you know, plan. You know, they have produced quite a number of, you know, cricketers, outstanding cricketers, and they have been using them. And that's the thing about it. A lot of their former cricketers are back in Barbados. They live in Barbados. Some of them went to England, played in the series, in the leagues there, and returned to Barbados. And some are working through the Barbados Cricket Association, the BCA. Some are working through the Ministry of Sports. Some have, you know, in the private sector. But they are affiliated to local clubs. So some of them play local cricket in Barbados in the club level. So, you know, they pass on things. They pass on techniques. They assist in the development of the young players. And it's something probably we need in the other territories, where, as Robinson Henry was saying, where these folks can be back into the local leagues and, you know, playing alongside the youngsters. In fact, not too long ago, I think up to probably last year, I think Murray, for example, was playing in the local competition in Grenada. He was playing in the local competition. To me, that is a motivation to other players. It motivates them, you know. I know we gone past 2:00, but we have extra time because don't get mess up with the time there. We have extra time to talk a little more. We come back and talk a little more because I think you know, Toro and Robinson. Robinson gets a bit excited when it comes to West Indies cricket. Just to let you know, a 10-member team representing Grenada, preparing to leave. They leave in between probably this weekend. A 10-member team for the first junior Pan Am Games that will be held in Cali in Colombia, right? And we have four swimmers rather, 3 track and field athletes, 1 boxer, 1 table tennis player, and 1 tennis player. 10-member team. I thought it was good from the Grenada Olympic Committee standpoint in terms of the spread. Okay, normally we'll have track and field dominating, these games, but it's good to see we have a boxer, a tennis player, a table tennis player, we have the swimmers, we have the track and field athletes, and and I wish probably in the future, well, it's the first of its kind in terms of junior Pan Am Games. In the future, we can see more participation in terms of other sports. And that's why I'm saying probably in the new year, Rudy, we can probably comment on that. We want to see more engagement in terms of other sports, where when it comes to whether it's the Olympic Games, and we know Olympic Games and these things, you have to qualify, right? Qualification. But as part of the preparation, where we can see not just track and field, where we can see participation in the other
events. Yeah.
We call it the non-traditional, because we so much feel that when it comes to the Olympic Games, it's just track and field.
Only track and field, yeah.
We want to see, as years gone by, we had the boxers, we had there was one year we had taekwondo, karate, let us get back to having at least a boxer to qualify. No fault again of the Olympic Committee, because the boxers and them, and in some of the associations, they need to get their players, competitors, whoever qualify. Okay, so they themselves had to get organized and send competitors in qualifying events, whether it's a boxing, whether it's the swimming is always a situation where they will give quotas and things like that. So there isn't anything as qualifying, and things like that. So, but we know track and field in terms of the qualifying times and these sort of things. And most times we'll at least have an athlete or 2. But we want to see more competitors involved, and not just more competitors, but competitors from other sporting events,
But most definitely. Like, I was supposed to be going to Colombia as well with my athlete, but she got tested positive for COVID, so that kind of
sorry to hear
that changed the whole dynamic with everything. So we had to shut her down and get her back, and in between she lost weight. They got to get the weight back up. She was, so it's a lot that happened in between there, but that kind of throw us off a little bit. But when you talk about the Olympics, and I think the Olympic Association should give themselves maybe 2 Olympics or 3 Olympics to say we want to get an athlete or athletes in a specific event besides track and field and besides swimming, and they should focus on that, and build something in between that, so we could have somebody else, so other athletes playing in other sports. Especially when you see, I remember seeing, and I want to say it's a clip I see with, is it a Kenyan that was doing the cross country skiing, I'm assuming it's in this Olympic the case going on, but I can be wrong, but I know it was somebody from an African nation, which was quite interesting to see that. We don't really get to see that.
You're talking about for winter sport?
Winter sport, yeah. Doing a cross-country skiing. Like, that was interesting because, you take a chance. We give somebody a chance to... so I'm thinking that we could do that. Find the sport, find the athletes, and especially you're grooming them. So now you're getting them young in that specific sport. So there's something we can't do. We don't have the horses to say we can have them do the horses. We may not have the, certain things, but we have sport that we can train somebody for the next 2 Olympics coming up, or 3 Olympics.
Well,
300
Yes.
kids down the road.
Yeah.
We start with the young lads. Then you're gonna have somebody from the age of 15. You groom them from 8 years. By the time that they up there 26, they are in the prime to to get them maybe 1 or 2 athletes. And I think we should look into that as I'm talking about Grenada now. As Grenada Olympics, find that sport, invest in it, invest in those athletes. That means they are focused on, you have 5 athletes, that's the focus on it. Get them out there, get them exposed, let them know everything. So it's always good to see when we have other athletes besides just track and field or swimming, as we have so much of, right?
Yeah, well, one of the things I always I've been putting on the table for a while now is that, and like the Cubans will do, and I think there are others that do, what you call the Grenada Games. So in terms of the local talent, you have a major, I call it the Grenada Games because it involves
every sport.
Yeah, every sport.
Just before you finish, let me say that. Like out here, we have the Canada Summer Games and the Canada Winter Games.
Right, right.
Every province. So
yeah,
there.
Right. And it could be whether it's at the parish level, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So, but you have the idea too is unearthing of talent as well. The unearthing of talent and in some instances, getting people to the point of being competitive, to some extent, and taking sports to another level. Okay, we have the Grenada Games, the annual Grenada Games, where people look forward to that, and it culminates in a big final, a finale, where there's bragging rights as usual, and things like that. And it comes to the end, to the point where probably junior independence, so whatever it is, but independence in February, you have your major presentation, whatever it is. But, just the idea, something I like to do is just think about these things. But throw it out there.
No, I think of the same thing as well. Not only you alone. I think about it all the time that we could, and even within the sport that we actually know right now. It doesn't even have to be new sport, just within the sport that we do right now.
Right, yeah. The Grenada
Games. In that
Games.
time, 1 month. It's a 1 month of the Grenada Games. Of we may not be able to do track and field due to everything, Track and field kind of go by school and go by club, those kind of things, right? But soccer, netball, basketball, tennis, table tennis. We go out as far as dominoes, draft, like whatever it is, a parish thing, And then in the end, you had a big trophy, bragging rights for 1 year. Then the next year, you pass it on and continue on again, and you'll be good. You're going to have people visiting during that time. You have people coming in to visit that time. Local people who is abroad will come in. The support will be there. You could make out of it. You could have jerseys. You could have, hats. There's so many things that you can do. It's a long shot, but it's not impossible.
Yeah, well, yeah. And I always thought about that. And it's something that the idea is there, but then they can always determine how, how it flows, how they want to,
how they want to do it.
How they want to do it. But
they should consider it, put a team together,
the idea,
and put it on the table, and just see what come out from it.
Yeah, the idea.
If it's three sports, if it's only three sports, it's better than.
As a matter of disclosure, I can say that some years ago, when Emmeline Pierre was Minister of Sport, is something I discussed with her, and then not too long after, she was changed as Minister of Sport. So it's just the idea. But we had some, listen, my thing is that when it comes to sports, I don't care which political party or whatever. I don't.
Sports.
My thing is not politics when it comes to sports.
Sport is sports.
Whether it's
whoever.
NNP, NDC, GULP,
whoever.
I mean, I forget about that at sports, right? I talk to you about sports.
And one of the things I said to someone some back, it is something, because my mind, I'm from St. Patrick's. I'm from Sutter's. I'm a Sutter's guy. I always think of doing something within that time that lead into St. Patrick's Day. The same concept you have, the same idea you have, village having their own little thing, and then we bring it together and finish it up with a St. Patrick's Day celebration, And I always had a thought. I always do, and I still do. And I think some way, somehow, it can be done. Instead of had the people with the right mindset, the people who just want to let's get it done. It can be done, because sports bring people together, bring a country together, it bring a community together. And let's go back at the time that Grenada was having a rough time in the Olympic time when Kirani won the gold. Grenada was going through a rough period, and Kirani winning the gold just changed Grenada. That the fact that we get on the CNN, that says a lot. You know, first gold medal just changed the attitude of people in Grenada for that time, which Grenada needed that at the time. Really needed that at the time. If anyone could remember what, how there was a few killing going on, there was so much going on that Grenada needed something to get our mind away from that. Sports bring a nation together. It bring people together, friends, relationships. It's just something that really brings things together, and it works.
All right. Let me. Well, it's not the type of news I know some folks will like to hear, but I have to give you the scores from the Premier League games that were played today, and I'll
watching Liverpool right now.
Okay, so and Liverpool is leading Arsenal 4-0.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, but and Chelsea earlier today defeated Leicester 3-0. Aston Villa 2 goals over Brighton. There was a 3-3 draw between Burnley and Crystal Palace. Also a 3-3 draw between Newcastle and Brentford. Norwich 2-1 over Southampton. Wolves edged West Ham 1-0. And let me see that last one. I'm trying to see. Okay, yeah, I got it now. Watford 4, Manchester United 1. That's why my Manchester United fans not shouting me out today. Damn, man.
You don't have to tell me no more, man. I felt it. That's why I kind of wanted to leave soccer out of the topic, man.
Let me repeat. Watford, and some people may not even Watford. You may say Watford, and they will ask you, if this a third division team? Yeah, Watford just came up from from whatever division.
Division 2.
Watford 4. Yeah. Yes, that's a score. Let me read it again. Watford 4. Manchester United 1. I believe that may be the end of the coach. The writing has been on the wall.
I could say
it may just be
my
the end.
team, but I wasn't happy when certain people come back, certain player come back to my team. I wasn't pleased. I wasn't quite pleased with it,
Who are you talking about, the maestro? Are you upset with the maestro?
I wasn't quite pleased, but it's what it is, right? And I figure he showing up would have made the team better, but it seems like it's not. I don't know if he wants to retire and finish up where he started. I'm thinking that maybe might be the idea, but
Yeah. All right. So Robert is saying, Michael, may I suggest today's topic discussion be continued another day? Reason is I am looking at an often overlooked aspect of our sport and development. There are persons who have interest in one discipline or another and have acquired a certain amount of coaching experience, skill sets, and knowledge. Those persons, in many cases, do not have formal coaching, but have the influence to get young persons to come and train. In some cases, they are able to relate to young people much better. Point taken, Robertson. Point well taken. And yeah, it is true. As you say, there are people who are, do not have the formal coaching experience, as they say, but they do have what we call the know-how, the techniques, the what have you. And yeah, I see, and as he says, in some cases, they certainly can relate much better and, less formal, the more informal way, because those with the, the coaching experience, as we'll say, might be a bit formal and, yeah.
But people going with that, which is really good, and I totally respect that. But I think we should look at having our own coaching clinic just in Grenada. It doesn't have to be something like IWF official kind of thing, but a Grenada clinic,
Yeah, no, you're correct about that. But there's no reason why, too, that they cannot, even if you do have one, that you cannot get it certified by, whether it's the NACAC, IWF, whatever it is. You could. Well, I mean, once it's done according to the norms or the protocols
Regulations of
yeah,
coaches. Yeah.
established by the international body. There's no reason why you can get it certified.
And it should be. And I think there's a lot of people out there who wants to coach, but that's kind of holding them back. There's lots of reasons. That's not the only reason, but there's a lot of reasons.
Yeah, and there shouldn't be a situation where our folks find it difficult to go to Europe, and if they can't go to Europe, then they miss the opportunity, right? Why you can't have
local
a program, a
in every
program.
sport, and in every sport, and if it's 10 people that come out, then you have 10, and you work with those 10. If it's
well,
you don't want it.
Well, to the credit of football, I know they have been bringing a lot of the FIFA programs to the regional FAs. So apart from the MA program, right, where you have to go, and unfortunately it's in Europe, and you go to different parts of Europe. Referee, for example, the refereeing part of it is done locally, and they have you get the local experts, etc., and they are certified, they are qualified, etc. So which is good. It's just a matter for them getting the experience and things like that. So yeah, but yes, I agree with that in terms of getting more of these certifications, locally based certifications, getting our people certified, whereas they can have more clinics and getting more of our officials certified as officials, whether it's as an umpire, as as a coach, and and the different levels too, because the FIFA, when it comes to football, for example, the FIFA coaching license is, well, when I knew it as was I was a UEFA license, they call it UEFA, which is a European. UEFA is Europe,
I heard it too.
Yeah, the UEFA license, and you have the different category. I think now through CONCACAF, they're now having the CONCACAF version of what is UEFA, but it's still recognized by FIFA. We need to have more of that in the various disciplines, sporting disciplines. Track and field has always had the IWF level. You do the IWF level 1 at home, and you go to the different stages, and I think you go up to it was in San Juan, Puerto Rico, where the regional development center is based, and you do that. I think, I'm not sure if it's still there. I know there are plans to relocate the NACAC secretariat in the Bahamas, and to get an official base for the Bahamas. I don't know if the RDC will also be moved, but in terms of the IWF RDC, which is the Regional Development Center, where most of our track and field coaches have gone to get their certification, at the level 5 in particular, it was in Puerto Rico. But in terms of the starting point, it's basically home base. Sorry, Robinson, I could not have gotten the last part of your comment, because check the lower part of my first comment. It's just that I didn't get everything. Sorry, Robinson, I didn't get everything. Sorry to say that. It missed out on piece of it. Yeah, but it's quite interesting. So again, as I was saying, let me see, is it the final score as yet? No, we're into extra time in the Liverpool Arsenal game, but it appears that Liverpool will take that game 4-0. And then come on Sunday, it's my game, Manchester City versus Everton, and that's my game. And then there's Tottenham versus Leeds later on Sunday. That's the two EPL games on Sunday. Just sorry that I would not be able to get the 99. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to get a game because I am finishing work just about the time the game is the final whistle. Yeah. Sorry, I'll have to pick up on the score and get in on the highlights.
I have another. My first topic I had. We went through it. I have another topic here. I didn't heard the comment from Alan Francis, but someone, our own Alan Francis, but someone mentioned it to me, so I don't know if it's facts or not. But he mentioned, based on what they say, he mentioned that one of the reasons why he don't like some athletes coming from Jamaica because of the attitude. However, I actually heard other coaches said that they have issues with Caribbean athletes. Not all, with some. Do we have a problem in the Caribbean with our young athletes on their attitude?
Yeah, when you say athletes, you're talking about track and field athletes?
Track and field.
Their attitude?
Yeah.
What about their attitude?
I heard some coaches say that they're rude.
Oh, rude.
Okay. They're hard to coach. And they don't get that from other places. I'm sure the question I'm asking, if it is true, do we have a problem with our athletes and their attitude towards being coached?
Probably something we can talk about. I can probably see if I can get a coach or two and find out about that, and probably get one who may have had that experience and one who may not have had, and but just hear what could be the problem, because if that is so, then it's something that we do have a problem, and it's something we may have to look into. Because we certainly need athletes who are coachable. We need sportsmen and women who are coachable. That's the first thing. And certainly, if you are not coachable, then you have a problem, and we will have a problem.
And I've heard athletes who have went to school. There's one particular is a Grenadian, Shewin Wells. She's a Grenadian, but she was based out here. She in the United States.
I know. I know.
Shewin Wells, where she went to a specific school on recruiting, and that athlete, who the coach called and asked her to show around, was not pleased and was very rude to the coach towards showing her around. So it could be there. It could be so many little things. But I just want to say that what I've learned, a lot of these athletes who leave the Caribbean is on a mission. And track and field is a one-man sport until you're on a relay team. And they're on a mission. And the mission is to make Olympic team or to make a business out of it, to get a contract and those kind of things. So their focus is always there. So the attitude towards that. So what might be an attitude to you, it may not be to them because their focus is really there. So sometimes we just get the wrong message out of it because their focus is really there. And right now it's getting sponsorship. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
So your attitude towards that is, hey, I'm focused on that. That's my thing. So if it is, we have a lot of work to do with our young athletes in the Caribbean. Like again, one of the things too is television. Like we said, we see the way that some of them watch athletes and the way they speak. Some of the top players out there, they do have some bad attitude, and they're not setting that example for the young ones, and the generation. I don't know if that's how it is. And if it is, we have some work to do. We do.
Let me get so Robinson said what I wrote is we in the Caribbean need to have our own cricket coaching manual tailored specifically to win these cricket needs, aims and objectives, using the knowledge and experiences of the greats, the thought processes of radical thinkers, laced with the scientific know-how of the region's leading coaches. Thank you, Robinson.
But no, and that's so true because we have talked about that before, and that would lead into like something as an academy. It's something we talk about that can help cricketers where you're bringing in some of the good players to mentor them, right?
Yeah. That's exactly what we are. I just reading back it again. The thought processes of radical thinkers, yeah, and things like that, and the know-how of the region's leading coaches. Yeah, thank you very much, Robinson. We just have about less than 4 more minutes remaining on the program.
Just before
Yeah,
we go, one
no
topic that
problem.
I always had, and I always had this topic, we never get a chance to talk about it, is that you had Braylon Toplin, mother, on
Okay.
a few weeks back, and I never get a chance to say anything, but I was heartbroken, and I was very disgusted that the fact that Grenada track and field haven't reached out, and that really, and I'm always going based on what she said. There's somebody else may have another story. You know what I mean? But if it is true that Grenada itself haven't reached out, that's disgusted, and I was very very heartfelt. And I felt terrible being a Grenadian in that situation, and in that moment listening to her.
Well,
if that's the case.
Well, I made my position clear on that. In that, for me personally, and for what I know of track and field, and I think is the same thing. For example, as I said, Christian Coleman, for example, found himself in a similar situation, and Coleman is preparing to return to track and field. Why?
He's returning. He's coming back.
USA track and field dealt with it, whether he was found, whatever it is, and
whatever. Yeah, there was a part.
They did what they had to do, and they said they notified the international federation. This is what is the case. We have sanctioned him. Blah blah blah. That's the case. And I'm saying the Grenada Athletic Association, for my part, should have gotten involved, and because in that case regarding the invitational, it was sanctioned by the Grenada Athletic Association as the local body.
Yes.
So in the sanctioning situation, they have that sort of jurisdiction, because for it to be internationally recognized, it must be sanctioned.
It must be sanctioned,
by the local body, right? So they should have gotten involved, deal with it, and if they had to sanction Braylon, suspend him, whatever it is, it was done there. As we said, Sha'Carri Richardson.
Yeah.
And she was ready to compete about a few weeks after. Basically, what I'm saying, she would have been ready for the relays, but they decided not to have her in the relays because it made have a lot of distraction, etc., etc. And then she was able to compete in the rest of the Diamond League, well, whatever Diamond League she was in, and whatever it is like that. So because USATF again dealt with it, and so that was my position. In that, I was asking the question why it is our local federation didn't get involved, deal with it, there and then, sorry. And if he is guilty of whatever it is, then they sanction him, they sanction him, whatever it is. And, because it's not a situation where he, in this case, took drugs, whatever it is, or he tested positive or whatever it is. It's a situation where he did not, as they claim, did not show up for testing.
That he didn't know of.
Right. In this, you understand, if you miss the test or whatever it is for whatever reason, 1, 2, 3, then they consider it as a failed test, right? Which to me is is technical, thing like that. But that was my thing in terms of they getting involved and ensuring and the process, and having faith and confidence in the system, just before we go, let me see if it is the final score. Yes, it appears that final whistle. And as we suggested, 4-0 Liverpool over Arsenal. Okay, but the big news in terms of the EPL is Watford 4, Manchester United 1. Sorry, folks. Thank you very much again, Rudy. It's always a pleasure having you.
Enjoy the birthday. Have a good birthday. And like I said to you, may God continue blessing you, and just have a good one.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And to all the folks, I didn't get back to you individually. Thank you for all the greetings. The day is still young here. Plan to be out with family in a few. It's normally a special time of the year for me because it's my birthday today. My wife's birthday is on Monday, and our anniversary is on Tuesday. So it's just
celebration.
Yeah, it's a big celebration. And by the way, Thursday, Thanksgiving. So we won't have a program on Thursday, but hopefully next Saturday we should be able to be back again. Hoping to be back again. That will be on the 27th, right?
Yeah.
We will be back hopefully for another program. I'll let you know. But on Thursday there wouldn't be any program because of the Thanksgiving holiday, feast. What it is like in Canada for Thanksgiving?
Well, it's not our Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I know it's not here, but I know the Canadians like to follow the Americans, so I'm just asking.
Yes, yeah. They and they want to make it so bad that they you cannot do. They change it now that you can travel to the US and don't do a PCR test if you're less than 3 days.
Less than 3 days.
But,
My sister was telling me about that today.
Till the 30th. So either way, they were smart enough not to let people coming down to do some shopping. They know what they were doing. So they knew exactly what they were doing. So, but it's good that we can at least pop in and pop out for a day or two, let's open up now. But we have the sales here as well from next week. The same sales in the US. So it'll be sale. And they actually call it Black Friday sale.
Well, listen, yes, that's Canada.
Yeah.
This is nothing new because in Grenada, you have Black Friday sales.
Yeah.
You have Thanksgiving. They have people that Thanksgiving dinner, blah, 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 all sort of things. Hey, don't be. It's not just Canada. I know in Grenada, they have Black Friday sales.
Well, I mean, a lot of our cases is rising from the Thanksgiving holidays now. A lot of cases, we getting back up in the 500s. Because of our Thanksgiving, because of the Thanksgiving gathering, and then it's getting cold, more indoors now.
More indoors,
things happening now. So just have to do our stuff, wear our masks and social distance. That's what we have to do.
Yeah. All right, then. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, man.
Always a pleasure, and I appreciate you being on the program. Thank you very much.
Have a good one.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you very much. That's Rudian Sylvan in Toronto, Canada, giving us his take on various things. Canada going to the FIFA World Cup and the US is not. Well, yes, Toro. But, the point remains that the Canadians like to follow the US. Okay, that the point remains. A time I was in Toronto, and I was looking on television and things like that. So, and I was seeing the Canadian version of this, the Canadian version of that. Everything the US, in the US on television, there's a Canadian version. And I was like, hell no. I was teasing my sister about that, the Canadian version of this and that. Folks, I want to thank you once again. It's always nice to be back in Brooklyn, New York. And you can see by, background, etc., etc. It means that I'm in studio, okay? I'm in studio. I'm not on the road. I'm not in a hotel, And as I said, no program on Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. But hopefully we'll be back on Saturday, God's willing, and then on the road again the following week. On the road again the following week. Thank you very much for being part of our program. I now, get moving because family is waiting as I continue the birthday celebrations. I want to thank all those who've been part of the program as per usual, the Rudian, the Toro, Robinson, and all those who provided the birthday greetings. I want to thank you very much. Thank you, and see you next Saturday. Stay safe. Thank you.